Hi folks. It's about 3:30 in the morning and I decided to give up on sleep. I was laying there just feeling good, just being happy and thinking how neat it would be, how neat it is when anyone discovers this source of happiness within. That's there for you. Now it's easier maybe when things are going good, but it's there for you when things are going bad, when they're going good. Because it doesn't matter how things are going. All that matters is you. We've been in a divide and conquer kind of a world and society for centuries now, longer than that. And if anything, the new time that's on us is a time of unity, of oneness, of coming together, and of learning what that means experientially, not just to be mental with it anymore, but to step into the heart. Not meaning your body's heart or your heart chakra, just the core of you. And find it there. I think one of the big things that's changing too is, I bet you think you know who you are. Well, the group that would watch this kind of thing is a lot closer to understanding who they are, but we don't have it yet. I mean, you know you're not the body, right? Some of you know you're not the mind, and listening to anyone tell about their NDE will show you that. You're whole and complete, or even having an OBE. You're whole and complete and free of the body. What most of us think we are, who we think we are, is left behind in the death experience. It's just a bunch of ideas and beliefs that we've been fed, and we got some of them cleaned up. But you'll notice people, when they cross over and then come back and tell us about it, they suddenly, it's not that they lose all connection with what their earthly life was all about and the people in it. Even moms that just had babies, you know, they don't lose all connection. They don't lose all caring. But in a way they do. What they lose is attachment. It just all goes away, and they're not attached, and they realize it was a role they were playing. Some of them may even be able to see it more like a game. We don't know who we are. And if we could all start there, that would be so awesome. Because to the extent that we think we know, we're not open. We're closed. We've got it right. And therefore, other people that see it different ways, well, they must have it wrong. And that's all mind games. That's all it really is. And when we decide to be open, to let go, to lose that attachment, we also have to be able to say, gee, I don't know. I don't know. What is this that I am? And just as we've been separated out to the nth degree, and it's still ongoing, the Common Core curriculum they're shoving down the throats of our schools is evil in the way it attacks the family and the closeness of the child to the home. And so it's an ongoing thing. But that doesn't matter. As we wake up, none of that matters. And it's going to be really good the more we can let go ahead of time of our attachment to the way we want things to be, the way we think they should be. We get attached to having certain outcomes. If we can do that letting go ahead of time, it's like releasing the cork from being held under the surface, and it just automatically pops to the top. What you are, what I am, what each one of us is awesome beyond any 3D word's ability to convey it. We have things just on the verge of manifestation that we've been in process of creating for hundreds, maybe thousands of lifetimes. All of our desires, all of our wishes, riches beyond riches, beyond riches, beyond anything. But we've been separated out from each other and from the planet and everything natural. And so we've lost the sense of our own nature and of the creators that we are. And we've been put into this artificial tension and anxiety and discomfort. And we swim in it daily. We don't have to, but as long as we do what we've always done, we'll get what we've always got. That isn't working out. And so I think there's a whole lot of us that are out there on the leading edge, not just looking into these things, but playing around in them, applying them, working with them, and discovering, yes, indeed, oh my God, I really don't know quite who I am. I've shared previously that I have found the purpose of life to be singular, and it's joy, happiness in the now. And the greatest service we can give to life is in pursuing that happiness, in claiming it, in actuating and activating it in our own force field. We don't control anyone else. And it's no one else's business either. What you do, what you think, what you say, nobody can tell you how to live your life. You're the only one. You're meant to reign over at least your own life, not anybody else's. But you are. And you're divine. You're regal, you're royal in that way. It doesn't make you the least bit better than anyone else. So if you have any of those kind of ideas, it'd be good to let them go, jettison them. We're all one. I think I summed it up the other day. What do I see the incoming changes, the new age, if you will, to be? The time of Aquarius is upon us, so they say, the song says. And unity is one of the biggest things. And there's a new light shining. It's brighter. It's of a different quality. And one of the things we're noticing is that secrecy doesn't work anymore. And the dark forces have depended on secrecy, these many eons. Their whole shtick requires a great deal of enforced secrecy to work. That's over. That's over. The internet was the death knell for that secrecy. And so we're in a new environment now where things done in back rooms will be blared across the internet on the alternative news channels, if nothing else. And it's just going to keep going in that direction. It's a good time to get comfortable with the self. I mean, if we don't start with the self, everything else we're doing is kind of pointless. It's like these people that died, left their body behind. A lot of them were given the choice, you don't have to come back if you don't want to. You get to choose. And they marvel and they are amazed at the way, as soon as they're on the other side, if you will, and the other side is right here. The only other sideness is it's a higher frequency. That's all. They occupy the same space with us. Anyway, they marvel at how detached they are, at their deep inner assurance that all is well, and that everyone in their family and their friends will be fine if they go on. And they really feel it. It's not something they have to reach for. It's something they discover. How about we take that as a higher dimensional attitude and try it on? Aren't we stepping into the higher dimensions? Wouldn't that perhaps be appropriate? You are divine beyond your wildest dreams and imagination. But you don't know what that means. And it's not a comic book thing, as much as some of the kids might like it to be. In the comic books, they traffic in action. It's zap, pow, bam, And in the higher dimensions, we traffic in being, in vibration, in frequency. And our creation is done that way. If we want to create change in our outer life, that's easily done, but the change has to originate within. We have to make internal changes in order for things to change externally. And so a lot of us are working to clean up our act, to be or become more present, more self-aware, and more self-observant. Action flows from being in higher consciousness. You don't go do a bunch of actions in order to attain a certain layer or level of being. That's backwards. Now, that's how we've been taught. But remember, we've been programmed by ones who haven't found themselves. So they don't know from nothing. And dumping pretty much everything they've told you is a really good idea. A really good idea. You're answerable to no one but yourself. And letting go, and letting go, and letting go You're like one of those hot air balloons, and you're releasing the ballast that's keeping you on the ground. And it takes some courage. As you get into it, it's surprising, it's powerful, and it's very close to us. We've just got to learn to quiet the mind or refocus our attention within and just let the mind chatter. You can't stop it. You know, there's no pause button. There's no pause button on this video camera either. If I stop, like a lot of people do, I have to paste together a bunch of individual ones, so I'd rather not do that. Okay, so if you can go within, if you can listen from your heart, what you're going to find at some point, if you persist, is that your heart is my heart. And there's a good deal of support for you here. Vibrationally, energetically. You're on your own, in a way. Well, you're the one. In another way, we're a sea of this oneness. And there's no such thing as separation. It's an illusion. We'll find, too, that time, as we know it in 3D, is a total illusion. All time is accessible, all space is accessible in the here now, in the now here, which is nowhere. Jettison as much as you can of what you've been taught, if you like, and play. Just play. I've told you before, one of the ways I like to play is I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks videos. They don't feed the mind, they offer precious little for the mind, but they do raise the vibration. That is higher frequency stuff. And everything that I've applied thus far of what they teach works. And so I still listen to the tough stuff, you know, to some of the new stuff and so on. But what we are energy beings. We are more accurately a flow than a being. As I look at you, and as you look at the screen, there's a flow, an ongoing flow, and it goes both ways. And what you put your attention on, you create in your own world. And so what is it you want to create? Look at the things that you've been watching, that you've been viewing, that you've been listening to. This is what you're creating to be a part of your reality. You're choosing it. You're using your free will. You're exercising your right to make choice. If you want to be in higher frequencies, if you want to be accessing your multi-dimensional reality, then it's a really good time to just observe your choices and consider, do you really want to create that kind of thing? The people you interact with, you know, people are so multi-dimensional. We're infinite. We're living all of our lifetimes right now, and that's a mind pretzel, you know. It will delightfully short-circuit your mind, and that's a good thing, and then you can take an adventure without it bossing you around so much anyway. they're multidimensional too. What do you see when you look at your mate, or your son, or your daughter, or your friend, or your mother, or whomever? What do you see? What do you draw out of them? What do you focus on in them? Their infinite consciousness, they can deliver you pretty much anything. You're choosing what to see in them. And for most of us, it's a litany of complaints. And as we focus on them, we etch them into our personal creation. And so we don't realize it, but we are eliciting that behavior. And if we would focus instead on aspects of whoever it is, on aspects that we really appreciate and enjoy, that's what we would elicit. It's in our power and control to take control of our own life. Our own life experience can be much better. It all has to do with not just the day-to-day, but the moment-to-moment choices that we make. Nothing is unimportant. No thought, no glance, no word, nothing is unimportant. It turns out that the little things are really the big things, because that's where the now is. That's the only place you can truly be present, is in this moment where these little things are happening right now. If you're not in the now, you're not present. And mostly if you're in mind, you're not present. Mind doesn't sit still very well. It's off in the future or back in the past all the time. And so you're not even dialed in. And if you're not dialed in, then you're not accessing your multidimensionality, your higher consciousness. Just think, feel, ponder. You're living all of your lifetimes now. So does it seem sometimes like one of the invisibles reaches out a hand to help you, gives you an idea, taps you on the shoulder in some way? Well, what if that's you? Any lifetime we're focused in, this lifetime, for me, there are certain themes that are active in it. All my other lifetimes that have those same themes will be close to the surface for me. Every resolution I come to in this lifetime, it blesses those other ones and it helps them. And of course, the reverse is also true. We don't even begin to know who and what we are while we stay focused in 3D. It's not knowable. It's much deeper than that. Way deeper. Go way deep within, my friends. Access your multidimensional state. Oh, and by the way, of course you're telepathic too. You might as well start noticing that. And just for fun, let everything, every choice you make, everything you do, be for the fun of it. You can have fun at your job. You bet you can. And you can elicit different behavior from the people there too. Change what you focus on in them and see if that doesn't deliver to you different aspects of them and make your life a whole lot more fun. Why not? Give it a go. talk to you again soon. Namaste.